Hi, I'm Lily Chang, Willowdale City Councilor, here during the Good Neighbor November month, where we're highlighting many of the great charities in our community that hopefully you will consider supporting for Giving Tuesday. With us today, we have a team of amazing women who support Shining Through. What is Shining Through? Well, maybe you walked by Dempsey Park and seen the old Dempsey hardware store. Many people wonder what is happening in that building. Well, an amazing thing is happening in this building, which is children who have different challenges in learning, who might be on the spectrum, are getting the support they need to learn and to grow. And it's incredible work that's happening. So when you walk by, know that this building is being put to great use. And with us today, we have Tanya Pausch, who is the business manager, Tara Weir, who's the clinical director, and Lorraine Munoz, who is the fundraising manager. So the first question I have here is, what happens here at Shining Through Center?
So, Shining Through Center, we're a charitable organization providing therapy to children with autism. They work one to one, sometimes two on one, across a variety of life skills. We work on things like communication, play skills, learning to read, so pre academic skills. Additionally, we provide supports to families, so we offer some parent coaching, and we do some Saturday social skills groups as well.
Amazing. I know, for a lot of parents, getting a diagnosis is both scary but also hopeful because now you know what resources you need. At the same time, resources can be very inaccessible due to cost. So, how do parents how do they access this resource, and what kind of hope does it provide them?
There is an opportunity for families to access funding through the Ontario Autism Program. And this funding is provided based on age and their determined level of need. And so those resources can be used to purchase services here. Additionally, some families may opt for private pay or participate in some fundraising endeavors. So we do lots of fundraising events to help offset that cost. And we really work to develop skills that are socially significant and meaningful for our clients and their families, as well as the community.
So, a family who hasn't had access to this resource comes here 1 year later. What would they say? What meaningful milestones are they able to see because now their child is supported in their learning and growth?
So sometimes this looks like a student who might come to us and they've learned to communicate for the first time. So they're able to tell mom and dad what it is that they want or need. Maybe it means that they're able to be at school with some reduced support. They're able to play games with their siblings, go out and enjoy activities at the park.
Wow, that sounds like really incredible and important milestones that would really be life changing to a lot of families. Perhaps you can share, how this work connects to the surrounding community. How can people get involved?
We have a lot of resources on our website actually. So anyone that visits our website can go to the tab that's
Get involved.
Get involved. Thank you very much. And they can download a toolkit that we have prepared for community members that want to support us. And then another great way that the community can support us is through just local businesses. So a lot of our older learners really depend on community support to help them find opportunities to have vocational skills that they can work on. So having local businesses open up their business to help our learners gain those skills is really important as well.
So, families with your support can actually hold their own fundraisers so that their children can get the support they need.
Exactly.
Wow, that must be really meaningful.
It is.
I think as a community, we would love to be able to support the families that, need to access the services, who find that they can't, meet the financial requirements. And definitely, I think our office would be happy to share information about any fundraisers that you have upcoming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, we do have the spinathon coming.
Oh,
In
spinathon.
January.
Yeah, we do have a spinathon spin-a-thons for anyone. Well, you don't have to have any expertise, but everyone's welcome to join our spin-a-thon at the end of January. We also have a big gala in April that we hold every year. This year will be our 23rd gala. So we've had one every year except for 2021. We all know why.
Mhm.
And yeah, those are the two big events coming up. But any upcoming events are in our newsletter, so please sign up online or follow us on social media.
So, what is the URL?
It's www.shiningthrough.ca.
So, how can people get in touch with Shining Through if they would like to access the services here?
So they can go to our website at shiningthrough.ca and take a look at the services that we have online. There's links to email, or alternately, you could also call us directly at 905-851-7955, and you can hit 0 or follow the prompts.
So, when a family gets a diagnosis, at what point would they consider Shining Through as a possibility for the suite of supports that they might need? What is the determination?
I think it's dependent per family. Oftentimes, when they receive that diagnosis, there is a referral. We know that applied behavior analysis is kind of the gold standard for the treatment of autism, because we're able to break down those larger skills into smaller, more manageable kind of chunks that are socially meaningful to the families.
And so, what are the programs that help children who have autism to make those milestones? How do they learn these skills, like being able to communicate? What kind of training are they provided?
So we meet with families to determine what the goals and the needs of the child are. Once we kind of know what our plan of action is, our staff work, generally speaking, one-to-one. They break those skills right down to the smallest component possible and provide lots of preferred activities, rewards, and praise, kind of following the development of those skills. So they might work to really help them be successful in those skills. So if we're teaching a child to count, for example, we might model that for them first, and following our model, if they're successful, they get to access lots of fun things to really see that skill continue.
And what are your biggest successes and challenges in the past year?
So I'd say one of the challenges in the past year has been there's been a change in the funding for the families. And so we have had to adapt our model of operating to put them into smaller pieces and smaller chunks so that they're still accessible to families. And as such, we've had to just adjust from we used to have like intensive ABA therapy, which was 20 hours or above per week, which is no longer a viable option for most families. So they get broken down into smaller pieces in the week. So it could be anywhere from 6 to 10 hours a week. And then the therapists and the supervisors have to work with the families to just identify the smaller goals that they can then build upon.
Well, that must be very frustrating for families who really want to see their children live out their potential, but it sounds like because of a funding model change, their expectations have to be slowed down. Is that what's happening?
I would say that.
Yeah, and I think as an organization, we've really tried to work to be innovative and try to adapt to those, changing funding allocations. And so we've offered some evening kind of tutoring programs to build those school readiness skills. Our social skills group, we're trying to launch a summer camp. So, one of the challenges that we've had is with finding a suitable space, but there's definitely a need for it. The community is telling us that this is something that is needed.
How do you ensure that your programs are, culturally diverse with the diverse population in the community?
So from day one, the board of directors has made their mandate that 40% of the board is made up of families. And so any family member is open to apply to be on the board of directors so that there's a representation across all of our different families. It's also part of the mandate for ABA to be culturally sensitive, and I know that they work closely with the families and when they build the goals to get a better understanding of the family's values and beliefs so that we can incorporate it into the program.
We know the holidays are coming and people usually like to volunteer, get involved during the holiday season. Are there any ways for people to be involved?
Yeah, so we have limited volunteering just because of the need for a vulnerable sector check.
Mhm.
However, there's always ways that community can volunteer. During the holidays, we're always looking to liven up our center, so handcrafted decorations are always welcome throughout the year, but especially during the holidays. And then we also have something called the Shining Through Friendship Club, which was started by former families and learners and their friends. And so any high school students that want to join that are in the area are always welcome. They hold events throughout the year, like an egg hunt in the spring. So things like that are.
That sounds like a
Are welcome.
wonderful learning experience for young people
It
to
is.
give, but then to receive at the same time
Yeah.
through the learning and experience that
Mhm.
provides. But let's just recap your big coming up events so that we can make sure as many people get involved as possible.
Yes, so we have our Spinning for Autism, which is at the end of January. No experience required. And then we have our gala on April 5th, I want to say, Friday, April 5th.
Yes.
And that's a huge event. Yeah. And like I said before, just sign up for our newsletter or visit our website to learn more.
And for Giving Tuesday,
Mhm.
people might, be thinking about their year-end giving. How can they contribute?
They can donate online. They can become a monthly giver. They can fundraise for us. Our toolkit's on our website. Anything that you can contribute is very greatly appreciated.
Well, thank you so much for spending this time with me. And Willowdalers, let's show some love to this important organization that supports families that, are going through some challenges trying to be able to afford to provide the services for their children to fulfill their potential. So let's support Shining Through, and happy Giving Tuesday, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.